Before we get into the video, I want you guys to drop a comment down below and tell me what the most kills you had in one game, either between you and a team or just yourself. I'm very curious to see how many people have double-digit kills or even 20 or 30 bombs. Just drop a comment and also drop a like if you guys do enjoy the video, and comment down below what videos you want to see in the future.
Like Savage, why you got a 12-car garage and you only got 15 cars? Cause we all just wanna be big rocks.
What's going on, my hedgehogs in a cubicle? We are going to be going over a quality video that is highly recommended within my streams, and that's how to win in a top 10 situation. A lot of people say, hey, I get into the top 5 all the time, I get to the top 10, but I just can't seem to win. Well, I'm going to give you a lot of tips right now to basically help you within that win, because obviously I can't play for you, but I could give you tips that might be able to help you get a little step closer to getting that umbrella. The first thing I want to mention is being in control of your fights. I say this so many times throughout my streams when people ask me for tips, and honestly, all you need to do is just understand that you're the person controlling the fight. So what does that mean? Basically, you're the one applying all the pressure. You're building forts, you're building ramps towards an enemy, or if you're already in a fort, you're causing distance between this guy by either throwing grenades or shooting a grenade launcher. But even if you don't have that type of stuff, you want to be laying shots down in the safest way possible. So peeking around trees, just popping in and out, is definitely one thing that you guys should be doing. And you just want to let your enemy know that you came to mess things up. So getting first place is the first thing that you want to do, and that's the first thing that should be on your mind when you're playing, because top 10s, yeah, you can choke. There's a lot of times that I do where I'm trying to just go for a fancy shot and I'll just miss, and it happens. But obviously, if you get these tips down, it's going to be a little bit easier in this top 10 situation, especially leading down to the top 3, which most people, they go under the most pressure. So like I said, as long as you're building the fort and in control of the fight and people have to come to you, you should be able to have the 80% chance of winning, because they're at a disadvantage from either looking up at your fort or you're just looking down on them, sniping and peeking them when they have no idea what to do. Now, another thing is weapon setup. Now, this is actually a little bit tough for people that aren't that aggressive as playing, because if you're not going to be an aggressive player, how are you going to get the really good weapons and survive the entire time? Now, most times when people get a sniper, they just want to sit until the end of the game to snipe people. But again, you're going to need materials. You're going to need to get a lot of good weapons. My favorite weapon setup is any AR. It doesn't even matter if it's the blue regular M16, other than the Scar, although that is a little bit better. Besides the bloom on it, it is terrible. But you also want a shotgun. Doesn't matter what shotgun, it's obviously personal preference. And then a scoped weapon. I think a scoped weapon is a guarantee win as long as you're in the top 10 and you're just sitting there. You have a good range on people. I wouldn't say using the AR, because then once you start shooting many shots with the ACOG AR, you're just gonna give away your position, and by the time you finally kill the guy, someone's going to sneak up on you or snipe you with a bolt action sniper. So as long as you have a scoped sniper, I feel like that you should be fine within the top 10, because you're going to create distance and gives you an advantage in fights where you really don't want to get hit and lose either a shield, which another thing is getting shields makes you so much more confident within the final 10, because even if you get sniped, if you have a full shield, you should drop down at least 60-40 health, and then just gives you time to know where that person is, and also medkit. Believe it or not, explosives are definitely something that you really should be working on in the final 10. I don't understand why it's so much easier to shoot someone with an RPG or a grenade launcher, or even regular hand grenades, to get these wins. It's honestly ridiculous how easy it is, because again, you're just shooting multiple rockets or shooting multiple grenades or throwing multiple grenades. You're putting that person under a ton of pressure where they don't know where to go, and they might be running back into one of your rockets or grenades. So if you can find an RPG or a grenade launcher, you should be able to get an easy win, as long as you know how to use them and don't mess around where just you exposing yourself and playing too aggressive. Also, taking out forts with these are very good, because obviously if someone's building a wood fort, you could easily take that down with 2 easy rockets, or even shoot a grenade launcher or throw a grenade up into the fort, and it's just an easy win. Another thing would be checking your surroundings. Now, this is something most people don't do. I sneak up on many people just because they don't check behind them. They think just because they came that way, no one else is following. Now, another thing to do is always check in the storm, because as the circle gets smaller, you're going to have a few stragglers, and I feel like that it's very much needed to always check behind you just so no one sneaks up and kills you. Now, the one good thing about the storm is it's easier to see out into the storm instead of looking into the regular safe zone, because they don't want you getting killed from some guy just running out of the storm, just seeing him from miles away. That's the guy that's already in the storm, because technically you're supposed to be in the storm and you should be just secure at that point. So once you get into the storm, just check around, make sure no one's to your left, no one's to your right, no one's hiding in a bush, because you know those bush Wookiees, they're always sneaking up on you, and they're just the worst things in the world. The main thing that gets people killed in the top 10 is that they stand still way too much. Now, as you can see in the gameplay, I'm literally moving around constantly. I don't care if people see me. I want them to know that I'm there, and if they're willing to take a shot at me, I'm willing to shoot back, but I'm not going to be an easy target. This means most people aren't taking shots at me because I'm not running in a constant pattern, and if someone does tend to hit me, it should just only take down my shield with a bolt action. And this is definitely one of the most confusing things for new players or people that aren't really confident in themselves. I run around constantly, and as you can see, the way that I set up the stairs, it makes it so I have unpredictable peak points where it's not just going to be I'm peeking from the same spot every time, which is another thing. If you have a sniper, don't peek another sniper in the same exact area every time. You want to make that sniper work for his shot. You want to make sure that he's a little bit confused on where you're going to be. So as long as you're constantly moving, you're less likely to get sniped from behind or sniped from above. And you're also most likely to get a shot off on someone or see someone else instead of just being a sitting duck in your fort. You want to make sure that, again, you're in control of your fights. Now, another thing about building the forts is you don't want to have a little fort where someone could lob a grenade into it or lob a grenade launcher into it. What I normally do, as you can see again on the gameplay, I'm building up a fort and I'm just making sure that it's the highest point of the entire circle. You don't want someone else's fort being the same level as yours because it just makes it for easy shots. You want to have the elevation advantage, and that is another crucial thing to getting the win. Now, obviously, if there's a huge mountain and someone's on top of it, you're fine. You just really can't stand still and have your back turned to that guy, or you could just build above you and hopefully have a little roof if you're not confident enough. The guy that I was looking at did not even bother shooting me. He was shooting someone else the entire time, but then his circle managed to be near him, so I had to play a little bit aggressive and I had to rush him. Majority of the time, you're not even going to be in the center point of where the safe zone is, so if your fort's on the outside and someone else has a fort on the inside, you're going to need to make some plays. You don't want to sit in the gas and wait till it gets to last second to rush the guy, because then you're literally trying to beat the clock. And I feel like as a new player, you should definitely not be able to try to beat the clock, but should be able to play on your own time. So what I do is I normally storm their base, but I build a lot of ramps, and also I build them in different areas so they can't just shoot down the ramp. So I make it a little, I guess, unpredictable for that person to just easily snipe something or AR something, and by the time I get there, they're gonna have to switch their weapon because they wasted so much ammo. And if you're building up with ramps, you want to make sure that ramp is like a defense block. So when you're running up to them, they're basically under you. And this makes it easy for you to run in, either shotgun them, RPG them, grenade launcher them, one or the other. Now, I potato aimed in this footage, but still, I ended up getting the guy, and obviously, it was an easy win. And all my kills or all my wins have been double digits, and it's just literally a cakewalk, because if you're in control of the top 10, you're going to get most of the kills, and even if you don't want to get most of the kills, as long as you're in your fort and you look like an aggressive player, most people will not want to fight you until the end. So that's why they back off majority of the times, and I hope this video does help you guys, because obviously I love doing these. I love helping you guys out. You guys request these videos and I put them out so you guys can hopefully get easy wins within the battlefield. One last thing that I want to mention that is actually very crucial to either solos or mostly squads or duos is flanking. Now, this is one of the things that really gets people under pressure, and this is where they start bursting, because they're not going to understand that they are going to have to fight two people from two different angles, and it kind of makes some, I guess, more or less or below average players freak out and not understand what to do. So obviously if you're getting shot from 2 areas and there's only 1 guy, you're easily going to get the win unless the guy's a god and just snipes all of you. But again, flanking and just going around and putting people in awkward positions is kind of tough for people to comprehend in such a short amount of time. So as you can see, I just ran around the side after killing a few people. As my team stood back, I ran around and just mopped up both the kills. And obviously I didn't play too cocky, where I actually built a ramp, and I wanted to get at least a little bit of leverage on some guy, or just a little bit of head glitching ability. So I just pop up and then chop both of them. It was a very simple win, and I feel like flanking again is definitely one of the most important things that you should be doing just to throw off some people. Now earlier in the game, or footage that I showed you, I actually flanked a guy when running up a mountain. He was looking one way and I was shooting him from the other because he still thought I was in that fort. But anyway guys, I hope you really did enjoy this video once again, and if you did, drop a like and comment down below what you think I should definitely do for my next video, because I really do enjoy making Fortnite content and I'm pretty sure it's not going to stop anytime soon. But anyway, if you want to subscribe, see my new videos, and also see my live streams of me just dominating people and making fun of them by pickaxing them to death, then yeah, definitely hit that sub button. But anyway, my name's Avery, and I'm out.